Now, U.S. Trade Representative Jameson Greer, he says the revenue from tariffs could pay for tax cuts. Watch this.
If you're going to make $600 billion a year, or maybe it's 500, maybe it's 700, how about turning that money over to the taxpayer? You know, the middle income, blue collar taxpayer, small business taxpayer. Why not?
I'm happy to outsource my thinking on taxes to you. You've given a lot of thought to it. And I'll tell you, clearly there's a revenue effect that comes with tariffs. We want to reshore. We want to get these jobs here. We want market access. But to the extent we don't get that, you know, we'll take the tariff money and we should put it to good use. I agree.
All right, let's bring in Ron Johnson. He's a member of the Senate Budget Committee. Mr. Senator, the gentleman we just showed you, he wants to return the money to taxpayers, and Larry Kudlow was calling for tariff revenue to be used as a dividend for taxpayers. What do you think to that? Or should the money be used for deficit reduction?
Yeah, the latter. Once we have a balanced budget, then we can talk about how we spend the surplus, but we're $2 trillion away from balancing the budget. So from my standpoint, I'm certainly concerned about what's happening right now in the markets, and I hope the administration is looking at that as well.
The Democrats and the media, of course, immediately criticized President Trump over his tariff policy. A long string of denunciations. Watch this.
They're going to stand by as, you know, the president pushes our economy into a recession.
Donald Trump is using tariffs in the dumbest way imaginable. In fact, Donald Trump slapped tariffs on penguins and not on Putin.
Donald Trump and his economic advisors, they cannot explain this. They're just going out to the American people and they're saying, trust us. We're going to take care of this. It's just that prices are too high. Inflation's too high. Now the entire economy is in chaos. And that's solely due to Donald Trump.
I don't remember him telling the American people, I'm going to institute the largest tax increase since 1968.
Senator, I'm not sure about what Senator Schumer said about penguins and Putin, but clearly the Democrats don't like the tariff deal. How do you respond to your Democrat colleagues?
I realize Democrats aren't fond of Donald Trump, but let's start with what's indisputable. America has been very generous in terms of offering access to our markets to our global competition. Some of our global trading partners have taken advantage of that. There are many products that are vital and strategic to America that we no longer produce. That's a national security risk. That should concern everybody. What President Trump is initiating here, this is a long-held belief that he believes that tariffs will correct those problems. But what's also indisputable is the markets are down about 8% in just 2 days, and I'm getting all kinds of reaction from businesses, farmers in Wisconsin that are highly concerned about what's happening. So those are the facts. I don't know, all I can really do is kind of report the reality to the administration, let them know, how these actions are impacting my constituents, and it'll be pretty much up to President Trump and his administration to determine exactly how long they're going to go down this road, when they can start negotiating with our trading partners. Obviously, some gains, $5 to $6 trillion of investment has been committed. That's what President Trump claims. Some of our trading partners have lowered tariffs. So, I just can't predict how this is going to turn out here. It's a bold, risky move.
It's the uncertainty that's hurting the market as well. There you go. Now, here's a story. There's a new report. It claims some Republicans are considering hiking taxes for those earning $1 million or more to a 40% tax rate. Are you bending to the pressure to tax the rich, bending to the unpopularity of billionaires?
I'm not, and I'm not going to let that happen without a big fight. I'm not here to increase people's taxes. I'm here to return us to a reasonable pre-pandemic level of spending, setting up a process to go line by line through 2,400 lines of outlays and expenditures to get our budget down to a reasonable level. There's no way you can go from $4.4 trillion in 2019 up to $7.3 trillion and say that's justified or reasonable. So I'm focusing on spending. You've heard us all say it. We don't have a revenue problem. We have a spending problem. I'm focusing on spending.
Let's drill in on that. Senator Ron Johnson, thanks for joining us, sir. Always a pleasure.
Have a great day.
Yes, sir.